you could all join us for this group show, printmaking. We are celebrating the art of printmaking the month of June. Some of you have already mentioned to me that you're aware of the fact that a lot of galleries are showing prints this month, and in fact I know there are several exhibitions going on tonight. So I hope that you get to see as many of these beautiful works of art in all of the different galleries that are celebrating this ancient art form. Our particular exhibition is different in that there's probably about half of our gallery. There were 16 of us producing prints for this particular show. I would say the majority are novices at best. We were led by one of our resident printmakers, and that was Mary Lee Gray. Mary Lee, yes, let's give her a Mary Lee is not standing up here because unfortunately she had a fall and she is in a lot of pain. She is back over there in the office area seated for the time being, so I'm not sure how long she's going to be able to stay this evening, and she asked me just to say a few words on her behalf. And that is that this truly was a joint effort, that all of us came together because we love the art form of printmaking. We worked together on this journey, and I can just say on behalf of all of us how much we truly appreciated her leadership and the way she guided us on this journey. So thank you, Mary Lee. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce myself and tell you what type of work I typically do here in the gallery, and then what type of print I chose to create for this show. And then I'm going to introduce each of the artists who are participating and let you hear a little bit from them. As you, at the end of the evening, not the end of the evening, as the evening goes on, if you have any questions about a particular printmaking method, please feel free to ask any one of us. Those of us who have these little green, well, you can't see mine, little green dots on our name badges, we are the ones in the print show. So please feel free to walk up and ask us any questions you may have. So as I was saying, my name is Christy Coker. What I typically do is acrylic painting on highly textured surfaces. So for this particular show, I decided to do a print, which is a collage. It's a collagography. It is basically a print of a collage, and I did two different variations on that. These are my two up here. The embossed collage is basically a print of a collage without any ink. So you are just pushing the design into the paper. After I did that, I then printed, so that's what the second one is. So it is a printed version of that same design. Now I'm going to hand you over to Barbara Abel.
Oh, okay. Hi, thank you for coming. I'm Barbara Abel, and I did 3 linoleum cut prints on the far wall. And I'm a painter also, but I like abstracts, but I also like figures. So for my prints, I did Marilyn Monroe, Veronica Lake, and Malala.
Good evening, I'm Joel Anderson. I'm the resident encaustic guy, so I probably haven't done printing since high school. So my particular challenge was to incorporate print into my current aesthetic, blend in some digital elements, all the while RuPaul's Drag Race was coming to crown their winners. So these are the 3 pieces over here.
I'm Andy Valley. I'm one of the worst staff of the Valley Studios. My better half is in the Hill Country right now. We do ceramics, and everything we do is a collaborative effort. The pieces we did are the tile and the bowl that's on the far wall of the phone. And the technique we used was screen printing on a ceramic bowl. I wanted to bring the stencil we used. It's one of Virginia's designs. And the material is a commercial product called Easy Screen. Thank God they made it easy. But actually making the screen was a dream. It worked really well. And then getting the glaze, which is very thin and runny, to go through the screens was the challenge. And then I found out Mako is a major glaze manufacturer, actually has a thickener to thicken the glaze, so it's just like the printer's ink, and it worked beautifully. So we're really pleased with it. We're going to extend it to some of our other.
Our next artist is Kevin Cromwell.
Normally all of mine have seen my larger acrylic paintings of the motorheads, which is what I normally show here at the gallery. I am a painter, normally with acrylic, but I got into printmaking actually 4 years ago through the Rock and Roll and Steam Print show that, if any of y'all have been there, happens over at St. Arnold's Brewery now every April, I think. And not being I think like Joel said, from high school, doing some stuff, and then I met up with the Print Matters people, and they have this wonderful thing where people who are non-printmakers, again, just kind of like what we did here tonight, could come in and do a really huge work of printmaking. An example actually is on the far wall over here at one of my steamroller prints. It's on a 3x5 plate. But for this show, what I have is over here, just around the corner, the orange and black piece. I usually work now in woodcuts, so this is a woodcut that I did 2 plates for the cut, a background and a foreground, and the subject was actually a life drawing. We do life drawing here every other Sunday or so. So that was actually a model that showed up in one of our life drawings, and she was doing an active pose where she moves throughout the pose, and you just have to kind of capture it in movement. So I thought that would be a really great piece for the show. Thank you.
I'm Paula Haymond. I'm a wood sculptor, and most of my pieces are either vessel-shaped or vase-shaped, and some are now going into kind of ribbons. For this show, I did the piece that's in front of us, and the piece that's back in the back corner, using wood-cut prints on leather. This particular piece has copper on the back of the leaves. The other piece is embedded in a vintage silverware chest. And then I actually have a piece that's on the wall that's a traditional ink print piece. But I love it. It's really beautiful. And it opens up a new avenue for all of my texturing that I didn't have before, so I'm really pleased with it.
I'm Thomas Urban. I usually do wood turning, or at least they start on the lathe. I carve things too. And my attempt at the printmaking was woodcut also. And it's printed, and it's over on that far wall back there. It was a lot of fun, and there's so many things that I would have liked to have done had I had more time and known what I was actually doing with it. So I think that might be something that I might continue. So thank you, Mary Lee, for inviting me to do this, and all of us. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks, I'm Phil Joyner, and I usually paint in oil. The last several years I've been painting landscapes. So nature is kind of a natural subject matter for me. And going into this printmaking exercise, I set myself the charge to create prints from just whatever I can find in the studio or in my house, because I'm not a printmaker, so I don't have a lot of the equipment. And so I experimented and came up with an effect that crumpled wax paper with ink or paint splattered onto it, if you will. And the leaves that I could pick off of the bushes and trees outside. So I signed up for the printmaking exercises to stretch myself and do something different. And it's paid off it's paid off big time, because now I'm experimenting with taking that technique onto the canvas. So we'll see what turns out. And this is Anita Nelson.
Hi, I'm Anita Nelson, and I'm a painter. I usually work in acrylics, and the subject matter is practically always animals. So if you see the puppy over there and the laughing pig, that's me. The last print I pulled was probably 35 years ago. I was 4. And I used a potato, but I know I age well, don't I? So anyway, so that's it. I'll turn it over to Donna.
Hello. Thank you for being here. I'm Donna Perkins, and I'm a painter in both acrylic and oil. And actually, I had started this set of prints, monoprints, before we were talking about this, and I was just playing with the tiny bit of texture I would get using acrylic paint and stuff in a print manner. And so I was playing with very shiny and metallic paints, and so this was just an extension of that, and it was fun. So thank you, Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Rossetti. I do watercolors, pen and ink, and I really truly enjoy drawing figures and architecture. And taking that, I drew on scratch foam, and I took my figures, I inked them, pressed them into illustration board, watercolor illustration board, and I repeated it and I repeated it. So this piece has only 3 figures, and because they've been inked differently and at different times, this is why you get a group of dancers. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sexton.
Hi, thank you all for coming, and I want to thank Mary Lee for the opportunity. I'm a fiber artist, and I've been doing silk screen print on fabric for many, many years. And we don't often have an opportunity to show our work. So my pieces are the 2 big fabric pieces. And I'm thrilled that we're having a PrintHouston event in all of Houston. So thank you for coming.
Hi, I'm Liz Francis Spencer. I'm primarily a painter. I usually work figuratively, but I have also, for 35 years, done very abstract work, non-representational work, and that's what these are. These are also collagraphs like Christie's, and I created a plate out of cardboard and glued random stuff to the plate. You ink the plate, the ink will resist where you've got something shiny like aluminum foil or something that's non-porous. It will sink into the porous areas, giving you your darks. And so the intellectual exercise, which is not even the art process, but it is very interesting, is that porous areas will be dark and non-porous areas will give you lights in your composition. It's a delicious exercise. And these were actually done some years back when I was able to go over to a workshop and pull these 2 prints. Thank you for coming.
Hello, I'm Cookie Wells, and I am a figurative watercolor painter. And these silk screens on the wall, this one, 2 in the back, they're like Vanna White, they're my silk screens of a painting that I did in watercolor.
And I want to thank Mary Lee for getting us all to do this. It was so much fun.
I am the last one. My name's Andrea Wilkinson, and I am a sculptor of animals. So to begin this little print project, I started with a sculpture, which is the cow that's back there around the corner. Inside, he is a conglomerate of things from rigid foam and wire and paper and plaster, but the outside is covered with paper. The print portion is the flowers. And I used the same thing that Cheryl used on her ballerinas, and it worked really well. Because it's flexible, I could kind of bend it around all the contours of the cow's face and get the flower prints.
And there's one last print that we wanted to mention. All of us in the gallery, in particular the artists who were part of this group. There was one more of our members who was planning to participate in this project, and that was Marcia Harris. Marcia Harris passed away in April. So when we found one of her prints, it was not necessarily created for this show, but we wanted to include it. And so it's the large green print over to the left of the door. It's a monotype, and that being said, I wanted to also let you know that over on near the desk on that white pedestal, there is a monitor that has a video loop about the printmaking process that you might find interesting. But there's also a handout that some of you may want to pick up that sort of explains a little bit about what each of the artists in this group were trying to achieve with their particular print. So anyway, does anyone have a question right off the bat for one of the artists who stood up here and spoke about their printmaking? Okay, if not, then as you walk around and look at the prints, if you have any questions, feel free to ask any one of us, and we hope you enjoy the evening. Thank you.